Our city knows the sweet taste of victory. From the Stanley Cup to a Division I title win.
That still doesn't feel real.
A triumph isn't an end.
Now, new stories are being written, and Fox 5 and the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network is following every team on ice. With our UNLV Skating Rebel national champions.
It's great for the city, it's great for hockey.
How will they defend their title?
Let's bring it home!
And the Henderson Silver Knights, skating with something to prove while building tomorrow's legends.
It's great to be able to teach and grow off a win.
Plus, how our youth teams are teaching kids to fly on ice. And what's in store for the new faces of the VGK, including their monsters in the north.
The Golden Knights are beefing up their minor leagues with the Night Monsters. These teams, our teams.
Where their victories become our victories. Building the future of hockey, one player at a time.
Vegas wanted hockey, Vegas got hockey.
Covering every team on the ice, this is Hockey in the Desert Weekly.
Welcome inside another edition of Hockey in the Desert Weekly. I'm your host, Vince Sapienza. The calendar has officially turned into the month of November. Plenty of storylines to tell, so let's get right into it. Fire home a snapshot of what is in store. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll look back at all the action from the week that was, hear from some Golden Knights defensemen. Noah Hanifin back from injury after nearly a month away, plus the latest with Alex Pietrangelo. What does his future hold on the ice and here in Vegas? Henderson head coach Ryan Craig has the Silver Knights rewriting the record books, plus I chat with Skating Rebels sophomore defenseman Dylan Kuntz as UNLV hockey returns home this week. More than 10% of the way through the NHL season, and the Golden Knights share a lead atop the Pacific Division, earning points in 9 of 11 games. While that is good, the bad is the fact that the guys in gold have given up the first goal in 10 of those 11 games. Now, you can look at that and say, on one hand, great resiliency from the group. On the other, I would show you a frustrated Bruce Cassidy, more from the VGK head coach in just a minute. Let's go to the Fortress for a Nevada Day special Halloween heavyweight matchup with the top team in the league, the Colorado Avalanche. Carl Lindbaum made his second career NHL start, first on home ice, and he was once again very good, though a 2-0 hole entering the third. The Knights just 1 for 6 on the power play in this one, though they cash in on the 4-on-3 opportunity with Tomas Hertl, his 5th of the season, cuts the deficit in half. The former Shark and his former teammate in Brent Burns would make it a 2-goal game once again, coming off the bench, ripping it past the rookie goaltender. That would prove to be the difference. 4-2 the final as the Knights lose in regulation at T-Mobile Arena for the first time. Bruce Cassidy was asked if the slow start was a result of just coming off a long road trip back east.
I'm not into excuses. We didn't play very good to start. It's not the first time this year we haven't started well. I mean, we've been behind most games. The play they made, talked about it, showed it. Righties to righties. McKinnon, Makar, and Nacich will end up, if they roll down that side looking for the seam, that's what they did. Our D didn't get out in the passing lane. Their forward sticks in the air. I mean, we just went over it. 9 minutes before the game started. This is the play you're going to see. So there's a little bit of, the coach has to prepare his team to play, right? But as players, I mean, you have to start on time. And we're getting to the point here, it's almost November, and this is a recurring thing. So veteran group, get yourself ready to play. We've had a number of different start times this year, so there's a little bit of that, but at the end of the day, we weren't ready to play tonight. And chasing Colorado, analytically, record-wise, they're the best team in the NHL, analytics by far. So you better be ready to play. We didn't start on time, we chased it, never caught it.
So there you have it, a not-so-subtle message to his players, and it seems like it was well received because the Golden Knights played one of their best defensive games just 4 days later, Tuesday against Detroit. Vegas started fast with 14 shots in the opening period, but it wasn't until the second the guys in goal broke through. Ivan Barbashev picking up the loose change in front of John Gibson and cashing in his 4th of the season. That would prove to be more than enough as Akira Schmid turned away all 24 shots he faced, pitching his second career NHL shutout as first with Vegas in a 1-0 win. Now, one of the other big takeaways from that game was the return of Noah Hanifin. The Knights defenseman was back in the lineup for the first time since the season opener. He played 22 minutes and 40 seconds, the second most on the team, and even though he didn't find the score sheet, he was a clear and obvious difference maker at both ends of the ice.
It was good, it was nice to be back in the lineup with the guys, and it's tough, watching and not being a part of it. So it's good to be back, and going to try to keep it, simple early and get my feet under me, and the team, had a good game tonight. Whenever you're out for a long period of time like that, you got to take that as an opportunity to work on certain things and make sure you're in shape and ready to go when you come back. So it's a little weird, being out the first month of the season and kind of not getting into a flow after camp, but I thought I felt good tonight and just got to keep building the game.
Now, while we did see Hanifin return, we will not be seeing his former D partner Alex Pietrangelo anytime soon. An injury has put Pietrangelo's future unclear at best, though when he spoke to us back in September, he refused to rule out any kind of comeback.
You know what? Nothing's really concrete. I'm just going to continue, kind of take it day by day and go throughout my process and see where it goes.
This past summer, the Golden Knights released a joint statement with the Knights defenseman, explaining that the 35-year-old is dealing with hips that would require bilateral femur reconstruction, a procedure with no guarantee of success. Pietrangelo told the media in September he has chosen not to get the surgery.
Not yet. I'm going to continue to try and rehab it. You consult with doctors, and you have to look at the outcome and see if there's going to be a guaranteed outcome. And when I met with a lot of different people and spoke to different players who have kind of been through something similar, and the rehab process is the way I want to do it right now, and it's obviously been making a huge difference. So like I said, I feel a lot better.
Pietrangelo says he started to feel it last season, and it's the reason he opted out of the Four Nations tournament with Team Canada in order to get right ahead of the postseason for the VGK.
And when you have a roster like we did and you have an opportunity, you think, to win, that's a tough thing to give up. So that never really crossed my mind. I didn't even really know exactly what we were dealing with until the end of the season. I started consulting with a lot of different people.
It's an injury that not only affected his play, but life at home.
Being able to be a dad and being able to do the things that I want to do as a dad is very important to me, and we have a phenomenal team here. The rehab process has been great, and I've been able to obviously be the husband and the dad that I wanted to be. Last year was very difficult being able to do those kind of things, so that's been very refreshing.
Pietrangelo, little room on the wing, shot, score!
While the Knights will no doubt miss his production, you won't be able to miss him around City National Arena. He says he won't be a hard person to find, especially in the locker room.
I think for me, being part of the group is just as important as maybe, guys wanting me around to, like I said, be a good sounding board. Because, the hardest thing is not being around a locker room when you've been around it for as long as I have. I mean, it's been since I was, 7 years old. So that's the hardest thing. But having that rehab process and being here has been really good. And I think you just kind of get into the season and see how things go. Whether it's helping injured guys, when you're injured too, and some guys are going to be out of lineup for 2 or 3 weeks. That's just the reality of it. And if I can be here with those guys and when they're working out, I work out with them and just kind of bring the morale up. It's tough. It's tough being gone from your teammates for a while. So maybe I can help those guys too. Have someone with them and keep their energy and their mood up.
Pietrangelo's hockey resume is as accomplished as any. 2 cups, multiple gold medals at the international level, and over 1,000 NHL games played, just to name a few. But he says when looking back on it all, there's one personal feat that stands alone.
I think the one thing that I'm the most proud of is when I came here, my goal was to win the cup. And obviously having won one in St. Louis, I had I had Julia, and she hadn't had an opportunity to be part of that. And I got all 4 of my kids to be able to sit in the Stanley Cup when they were babies. And I have a picture with that, and that is the coolest thing in the world that not many people can say. And I'm happy I got that done. It's pretty special for me.
Now back on the ice, with Alex Pietrangelo not available, we've seen the ice time increase for the likes of Braden McNabb, Shea Theodore. But it's not just about the minutes. Guys like Zach Whitecloud, Caden Korzak, taking on bigger roles on the blue line. And I caught up with both of them recently, asking how they're feeling with the added responsibilities.
Korzak looking to spin away from Soderblom.
Pretty confident right now. I think we've gotten better. I think as each game has kind of went on, and We're just kind of getting used to each other out there, so I think it'll only get better for us.
DeBrincat, Hamonic has time, drive, blocked out of play by White Cloud.
I feel unreal. I think, like you said, losing a guy like Alex Pietrangelo, you lose a guy like Nick Hague, and obviously we bring in Laws and guys that, have similar roles like that, right? And we've had, relatively the same decor for quite a while, and, we bring in pieces like Hanny and Laws. Of course, he's stepping up into a bigger role, right? And guys have to take on bigger roles over the course of time, right? And obviously, would you like, sitting here as a really good friend of Petro, would you like him in the lineup? Yeah, I think everyone else in this room would like to have Alex Pietrangelo in the lineup.
And Zach White Cloud with some room.
With that, obviously, comes opportunity for other people, right? And having worked over the summer and getting yourself ready, for more opportunity and going at it, not in terms of looking at it as a challenge, but more so as, I've got myself prepared and I'm ready to take on that role. And in our decor, we've got 7-8 guys back here that can go in and play in pretty much any scenario. And I think that's what we've prided ourselves on for, as long as I've been here, is that, guys that aren't even in the lineup can come in and play quality minutes for us and big minutes too at that.
Despite all the ice, we're just getting warmed up here on Hockey in the Desert Weekly. When we return, we check in with the hottest team in the American Hockey League. The Henderson Silver Knights continue to rack up the wins. I'll tell you the franchise record they recently set. Plus, we'll hear from the team.
You're watching Hockey in the Desert Weekly.
Davies is in deep for the Silver Knights. Behind the net, taken to the boards by Warren. Got it in front, score!
The right wing, gonna walk the face-off circle. Now shoots and scores. To neutralize by Romberg. He's a man behind the defense, and here's a breakaway for Hemmerling. Hemmerling shoots, and he scores!
Our goals is to compete right from the get-go. We expect to mirror more of our second half last year than we did our first. We've switched out to our leadership group here and older guys. We've have young guys in second and third year positions that are ready to take a step. So our expectations are high.
Poke check by Klang. Bowman, a shot, scores! That's the winner for Brady Bowman in overtime, and the Silver Knights pick up a 3-2 win.
Part of our development is to win. Winning is development. It's part of living those situations, being in those situations, playing under pressure so that when you get a chance to go up and do it, you can execute it with VGK. You can also execute it with us to help us win games.
Welcome back in. You just heard from Henderson head coach Ryan Craig about the importance of winning at the American Hockey League level. Now, since that conversation, which took place prior to the season, the Silver Knights have won a franchise-best 7 games and are off to their best 9-game start since their inaugural season in 2020. Now, in those 9 games, they amassed 15 points, tied for the most in the Pacific, and 36 goals in that span, tied for the most across the entire AHL. If you missed it, let's see some of the action from over the weekend. The Silver Knights, with 2 of their more impressive wins coming against the defending Calder Cup champs. Henderson scored a franchise-best 4 power play goals Saturday in Abbotsford. Thomas Euronen, with one on the man advantage, he scored 2 in the game and then another on Sunday in Game 2, all part of a 4-point weekend for the 28-year-old out of Finland, helping lead the HSK to the weekend sweep over the Canucks. They outscored them 13-4. Euronen now up to 5 goals in 6 games of his rookie season in the AHL. He was asked, what's the biggest difference playing at the professional level?
Here is better goalies, but it's same shot every time. It doesn't really matter. We have a lot of good lines who can score, and a lot of goals. A lot of good guys, and we're playing pretty good now. Let's continue.
Drop pass from this second unit, looking for some chances, and they score. It's McGrew. Give and go play results in the go-ahead goal for Tahoe as Jake McGrew in between the dots cashes in on the power play.
The Night Monsters' monstrous road trip continued in Idaho this past week, taking 2 of 3 from the Steelheads. All 3 games ended by scores of 5-2. Go figure. On Wednesday in Game 1, it was the first time all season the Night Monsters failed to score 4 goals or more in a game. But over the weekend, Tahoe outscored the Steelheads 10-4. On Halloween, goaltender Zane McIntyre recorded his first career ECHL victory, and 5 skaters finished with multi-point performances. Next up for the team in teal, they are in South Dakota for a 3-game set with the Rapid City Rush. And don't forget, you can watch the Night Monsters all season long on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Your next chance, November 20th, when they take on the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Still ahead here on Hockey in the Desert Weekly, it is time to turn our attention to the Scarlet and Gray, the Skating Rebels. Back from their first road trip of the season, I catch up with sophomore defenseman Dylan Kuntz as UNLV ready to return home this week. Welcome back inside Hockey in the Desert Weekly. Vince Sapienza here. After a perfect 6-0 start to their national championship defense, the Skating Rebels hit some adversity on the road, losing 2 of their last 3 games, albeit against teams ranked in the top 5. The Scarlet and Gray now return home to the friendly confines of City National Arena, and that's where I caught up with one of the drivers of the Skating Rebels defense. I'm here with sophomore defenseman of the Skating Rebels, Dylan Kuntz. Dylan, welcome back from the road trip. I guess before we get into what is to come, let's talk about this road trip because it's not often that you guys aren't coming away with the wins. So what did you learn taking on Minot State, taking on Jamestown, 2 teams in the top 5?
For sure, yeah. They're obviously we came in their number 2 seed. We're number 1 going into it. We knew it was going to be a gritty game. We had battled with a little adversity with the traveling, but that's nothing that we needed to worry about. But then just them coming in hot, coming in heavy, the physical team for both the Jimmies and Minot. So it was just playoff hockey, and we'll be able to get them next time.
I know you can't win a championship, as you've learned in October or even November now. But teams are coming at you and playing you guys very differently. We've seen that here at City National Arena, and we saw it again on the road. Can you describe how these games feel? And you just kind of said it, playoff-type atmospheres.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're trying to get us off our A game. They're trying to out-physical us. So we just got to be more disciplined going out through the next game, and then play our best that we can.
What have you learned so far this season about this group? The home game so far, and then going out on the road, dealing with some adversity, as you mentioned. What have you learned?
I'd say, yeah, obviously, because we had a lot of banged up guys. We had 7 guys out last week, so just like having the next guy up mentality, and just playing relentlessly.
Obviously, you experienced the fruits of, and reaped the reward, I should say, of what was a daunting schedule a season ago, and it ended the way you guys hoped it would. How is this schedule compared to what you guys went through early on in the season last year? Is it more difficult, would you say, or is it about the same?
I'd say it's a little bit more difficult for sure. Those week games are really hard, and balancing school and athletics has been a little challenge for a couple of guys this year, but we'll just be able to overcome this a lot better this year.
Yeah, you know, I think we forget a lot of the times it's student athletes. It's not just athletes, it's student athletes. So how much has been relying on some of the older guys? Again, I know you've gone through it, but relying on some of the older guys, and then you being kind of that helping hand to some of the new guys in the program.
Yeah, it's huge, especially from last year when I was coming in. It was a couple of years since I've done any schooling, and then coming in was a little bit of a change. So the guys last year helped me out. So then obviously if I had any questions, I would ask them, and then now the younger guys are doing that.
You know, I read on part of your bio and talked to some of your coaches that one of the things you were looking forward to the most when you first came into this program was playing big-time D1 teams. Like playing those big moments. You've gotten to do it now a handful of times. This year when you guys played DU, I know you guys didn't get the result like last year in spectacular fashion, but what did you get out of that game in particular?
I'd say that we can play with anyone. Obviously the scoreboard, they scored more goals than us, but I thought it was a lot closer game, and I thought our chances, we just didn't bury.
Mm-hmm. And as you move forward now, you talked about the hardened schedule, you talked about playing top teams. How do you feel that's going to pay off? And is it one of those things that maybe you haven't gotten the results that you wanted, especially on this last road trip, but you know it's going to pay off later?
Yes, for sure. Obviously you want to be playing the best teams every night, but sometimes you won't play them. But this year I feel like our strength of schedule is a lot harder than it was last year, and that'll help us out throughout the year.
Thursday night is Greek Life here at City National Arena. It's different, right?
Oh, yeah.
When it's Greek Life night here at the arena, it's a different atmosphere, a little louder. Weird how that works out. Why is that such an important one that kind of gets marked on the calendar?
For sure. It's just a bunch of students coming in. It's and a little rowdy and having a couple drinks. And they're just ready to come in, and we really feed off their energy, and it helps us throughout the game.
And what do you say to the fans again? It's always sold out here at City National Arena for your home games. What do you say for the fans that may be on the fence? Do I come to that? Like, why do they need to come to a Skating Rebels game?
You got to come. It's probably the most electric games for UNLV for right now. So we'll see.
Dylan Kuntz. You heard him. Come out. Dylan Kuntz, sophomore defenseman for your Skating Rebels. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. Good luck this week.
Appreciate it.
Welcome back inside Hockey in the Desert Weekly. It is time to check in with the Golden Knights of yesteryear and take a look at the continuing quests around the National Hockey League. And we start in the Pacific Northwest, where the Kraken started the season fairly strong, and one of the reasons why is the Chan Man. Yes, he can. Chandler Stevenson, the two-time Cup champion, had a goal and assist in a 3-2 overtime loss to the New York Rangers. However, he played over 24 minutes, which is a season high, and he's got 7 points in a dozen games for Seattle this season. Now let's check in with the 2023 Conn Smythe winner, Jonathan March. So Pred's not doing as well, but here he is cashing out on the power play against the Flames. That would turn out to be the game winner for Nashville. Former Knight has 6 points and 4 goals, 2 of which have come on the man advantage so far this year. And as we wrap up our time here on Hockey in the Desert Weekly, we got to clear the ice. And to do so, we have to go back to Halloween, where, check this out, the Utah Grizzlies, well, they dressed up. They got all costumed out with the Skelly sweaters, as our producer James tabbed it. I like that. The Skelly sweaters look clean. They look good on the ice, frightening. They have the intimidation factor. You know, all things we bring here on Hockey in the Desert Weekly. That's going to do it for us. I'm Vince Sapienza. We'll see you next week.